welcome to another episode of Crypto Kitchen Table, where we try to explain and discuss the latest news and the biggest issues of the day in the digital asset and crypto world with common sense. Common sense that's more suitable for your home and not the computer science classroom. Look, there's no getting around the fact that our society has been steadily accelerating its adoption, its dependence on digital technology. So come have a seat at the Rubicon Crypto Kitchen Table. So let's talk about blockchain. What exactly is it? Who invented it? Why are people excited about it? And what is it used for? Today, in the first of two kitchen table talks about blockchain, we'll try to cover the first of those questions. Like so many of our kitchen tables, it's necessary to look back before we look forward. In this case, we really need to look as far back as man's first crude efforts at trading goods and services. For as long as humans have been exchanging, there have been records of those transactions. Written records or ledgers. You're going to hear that word a lot. And fear not, we're not going to be spending too much time revisiting the trauma of your high school or college accounting class. But it's essential to be able to connect at least these dots. Simply put, I hope, a blockchain is an online record or digital ledger of transactions. It could be transactions for money, or perhaps the movement of goods between two parties, or it could also be exchanges and information. Now, with that in mind, let's dive in just a little bit deeper. If we build on the prior definition, a blockchain is a perpetually growing set of records that group together into blocks, and then importantly, they're linked together with cryptography. Not surprisingly then, that's where we get the crypto in cryptocurrency. Now, one of the most important concepts in blockchain technology to understand is how it keeps all those records. Well, it does so through the use of what is called a distributed ledger system, or DLT. Ledger, there's that word again. Stay with me, this is all going to be over soon. But with the distributed ledger, a record of every single transaction is kept in multiple places simultaneously. So anytime there's a transaction or something is changed, everyone in the network is alerted and has to agree or digitally sign off. This attribute is important because it makes it virtually, and I say virtually, impossible to hack or change the records because it would require changing every record at precisely the same time. Well, that would be mathematically possible. The odds of that happening would crash most computers just looking to calculate the odds, let alone succeed at such an attempt. Now, there are several reasons why the business and tech communities have been so excited about blockchain. The first of those being that it's decentralized. Unlike the internet, banks, Google, Netflix, private companies that keep and store your data, they all do so in a centralized fashion. On the other hand, data on the blockchain does not live in one place, but on the network. And why does that matter? 4 reasons: security, cost, data ownership, and transparency. First off, computer network security and data hacks and breaches are all over the news today, and centralized databases are especially vulnerable, and they expose all the data when they're breached. Second, the cost of building centralized network systems is massive, especially given all the digital capacity a company needs to ensure is in place so that a system runs smoothly. Third, data ownership is arguably one of the most important features of the decentralized blockchain. In a centralized system, you do not own your own data, and worse yet, it's often monetized by the companies and networks that you give access to your data. And now for a random but important reminder. Folks, if you are not paying for a technology product or service, think Google, think Facebook, etc., then you are the product. Anyway, back to blockchains. And the fourth reason that being decentralized matters, it's transparency. A decentralized blockchain network provides full transparency into how data is used, who uses the data, and when the data is being used. At this point, I should probably mention that if you find yourself regretting watching this video, you can blame that on blockchain too. Why? Well, it was the potential of blockchain technology, not Bitcoin or the lure of cryptocurrencies, that first piqued my own personal interest in this space back in 2014 when I was an insurance executive, an interest that would ultimately lead me to co-founding Rubicon Crypto. To summarize, blockchain is an online, digital record of transactions that is backed up by the computational power of modern cryptography. It's at the very core of currencies like Bitcoin and can be used for documenting financial transactions, the movement of goods and services, and the exchange of information. Well, that's it for now, but be sure to join me for part 2 of our kitchen table look at blockchain. As always, whether or not you're crossing the digital divide with Rubicon Crypto, please remember to do so with common sense and with rational exuberance.